Welcome to day 12 of the BU 365-day challenge. Today we're going to talk about soap. Now we could talk about all different things with respect to soap, but we're going to talk about a specific kind of soap. The soap framework, which was my response to the COVID pandemic. Now there's events and there's times in our life when we remember exactly where we were when something happened. I think of President Kennedy's funeral. I was actually just a little girl. I think I was probably, geez, how old was I? 2 or 3 years old. And I fell backwards on a table, a coffee table, because I was rocking back while my mom was ironing, and cracked my head open. When 9/11 hit, I was working at a big industrial bakery, and I remember exactly where we were and what we were doing. It was the first and only time ever, I think, that we turned the televisions on and the radios on all throughout the manufacturing facility, and were drawn to the news and the devastation as we were working. Remember where I was when COVID happened. I was up at the cabin with my sisters celebrating my 60th birthday. And you know how when something first happens, you're not sure how you're going to respond to it. And we were having a nice weekend with my granddaughter and my sisters at the cabin. So didn't really have to think about it until I came home. But when I got home, when we all got home, of course, in the beginning of an event like this, we're tuning into whatever your favorite news broadcast is, your favorite news source, and listening to what's going on. And it didn't take me long, and I didn't listen very long to realize that everything was about to change. And whenever everything's about to change, first thing I have to do, we talked about over the last couple of days, what our initial response is, and then how do we change our reaction to make it more in our favor. And the SOAP framework came about by me saying, all right, I have to do something proactive over however long this is going to last, because we didn't know how long it was going to last. It sounded like initially it was going to be a 2-week period. So what did I do? Since I love to do challenges and I'm always doing challenges, I decided I was going to do a 10-day challenge to deal with changes and challenges, because I've been doing a challenge on changes and challenges for a couple of years now at the time that COVID hit. But I sat down, and when we realized that it wasn't going to be after I'd done the 10-day challenge, you know, news is breaking, things were happening, things were changing quickly. And I soon realized it wasn't going to be just a 2-week shutdown. It was now going to be, this was the end of March, or by the time the 10-day challenge was over. And I had 3 days to decide what I was going to do, because we all of a sudden found out in Wisconsin, like you may have in your area, we were going to have a 30-day lockdown. Everything was going to be shut down. Everybody was going to be sent home to the best, or as many people as possible, for the entire month of April. So that's when I sat down and said, okay, I need to do something bigger than just a little 10-day challenge, right? To talk about change and how do we effectively make change. I've been dealing with the change process my whole life. And like any other process, it can be broken down. It can be really complicated if you want, or you can break it down to a simple 4-step process. So I started thinking about, I'm going to show you my little cheat list. I started thinking, this is, okay, I'm going to show you this first. This is my pile, some of my pile of stuff. Oh, I've got more books here. And then this year's challenge, of just the get up and go challenge. I ended up calling it get up and go, and I'll tell you why later. But I called it the get up and go challenge, and we did it 10 times in 2020 and 2021 combined. So we did the first one, 30+ day get up and go challenge, April of 2020, and then the 10th one was we just finished it December of 2021. Now, how I came up with SOAP as the framework I was going to use is I thought of the 4-step process that we use for doing it and actually achieving anything we want, not just making sure that we handle changes and challenges to the best of our ability, but actually doing and getting anything we want. It's a simple 4-step process. And there's different words that can be used to describe that 4-step process. So I brainstormed on Post-it notes, of course, different ways of describing the first step, the second step, the third step, and the 4th step. And then as I'm looking at the list, I realized the different words, some of them appealed to me more than others. And all of a sudden, it seemed so fitting that the word soap was a word that could describe the 4-step process. And soap and sanitation and cleaning things and not spreading germs was huge. So it just seemed like soap was the perfect word and the perfect way to describe the framework, because everybody can remember soap. Everybody uses soap pretty much every day of our lives automatically. So every time I see a bar of soap now, I think of the soap framework on a conscious and subconscious level. But, you know, the S for soap stands for story or situation, which also could be, I guess I don't have my brainstorm list of words here. This is just the ones I end up deciding on. So story or situation. O, options, infinite possibilities, choices, solutions, alternatives, ideas. And then I talked about some of the tools. And then action is the A in the SOAP framework. Do, move, test. Nothing happens until we actually do something. And then finally, the 4th step is progress, continuous improvement, moving toward what we want, growth, moving, go, momentum. How do we know we're moving in the right direction? And that came to become the SOAP framework that we've done for the last couple of years now to share with people. Now, I'm going to take this SOAP framework. We're going to talk about it just briefly, the overview today. And then over the course of the next year, this entire year, in January, we are going to go through the SOAP framework one day each step of the process, and we'll talk about more and break it down for the rest of the month. But we're going to go through it one time a month for each of the different areas and aspects of our life. So this month we'll do physical. So our action item today is to think about one, and it's not the SOAP framework, we're going to start with that tomorrow, but it's to think about one thing that you physically want. One thing about your physical health, your body, your energy, your well-being, your environment, your home, something physical, something material or physical that you want. And then we're going to go through the SOAP framework and show you how you can use that to go about creating what it is that you want in your life. For me, I already picked mine. Mine is, it's either going to be more energy or well-being, overall health and well-being. I might change my mind and do something more specific, like maybe it's lose 20 pounds, maybe it's lose 40 pounds, whatever. But I'll decide by tomorrow when we jump into the SOAP framework. And again, what I like about it is everything we want. I don't know if you've heard about the law of attraction, but there's the, law of attraction, be, do, have, ask, I can't remember what it is now. Ask, receive, ask, believe, receive. That actually aligns up with the SOAP framework. Story and options are like the be what it is that you want. Know what you want, first of all. And that creates a gap. Once you know what you want, we're usually not exactly where we want to be. So we look at where we are now, that's our current situation, and then we know what we want when we go into it, and that's our desired situation. That creates this gap that we want to go about filling. And the next few days and the rest of the framework fills in that gap. We talk about options. There's infinite possibilities, infinite things we can do, although we often believe that there's only one or two. Action. Nothing on the planet, nothing in our lives happens until we do something, think something, create something different, believe something different. We have to take some kind of action for anything to happen in our life. We can't, despite the visualization and all the other techniques and things that we do, we can't just sit on our couch and think that the world is going to come to us and everything's just going to happen. It doesn't work that way. Manifestation and how we get what we want in life is through manifesting and creating those things. Requires us to participate and experience things in our life. And progress, continuous improvement. How do we know if we're filling that gap? How do we know if we're moving from where we are to where we want to be? That's the SOAP framework. That is the SOAP framework in a nutshell. So think today about something that you want physically for tomorrow, and we will hop into the S of our SOAP framework tomorrow. Have an awesome day. Any questions, hit me up. Otherwise, I'll be with you tomorrow. Secret, not really a secret, but kind of a secret. All of the previous Get Up and Go challenges are on a Facebook page called Get Up and Go Challenge. There's also a private group called Get Up and Go Challenge Group. And if you join that, in the guide section, used to be units, the guides or units section, whatever you know them as, they're all in absolute order. So all 10 challenges are in there. So if we talk about something over the course of the year that you want more examples of, or to see, to dig in more deeply, you can go and watch any of those. I don't believe in disappearing content, so they'll be there for, I don't know, as long as the internet's around or Facebook's around or and the Facebook group's available. I should probably move it into an off Facebook membership site. That might be one of my goals this year, is to get that information moved off so it is available forever. Any questions? Ask. Otherwise, I'll be with you tomorrow. We're going to dive into the soap framework, and we're going to relax with our Relax soap and get all cleaned up and learn how to apply this to guarantee we get the best results for us in any area or aspect of our life whenever anything changes. Anything ever change in your life? Changes in mine like every day. Have a great day. See you tomorrow. Bye.